Hey yo, what is good, y'all? Malcolm McFadden, Creator 615 Comics, and I'm back with another episode of the Yo and Nerd podcast. And this is what episode 20, the big 2-0. Yo, round of applause for us to making it to episode 20. That's dope. Just started this about like 3 months ago, and it's really dope to stay consistent to get to episode 20. And I'm happy that there's enough stuff going on in the whole nerd verse that I can do 20 episodes of these in 3 months. So that's pretty dope. So, real quick, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and please tell your friends about me. Everybody that's already liking and watching the videos, thank y'all. I wish more of y'all would comment more in the comments, you feel me? But hey, we still growing, all right? But I got another dope episode lined up for y'all. Last episode I talked all about DC's KO, and I'll be talking more about comics because there's a lot of comic talk to talk about. All right, especially with New York Comic Con just passing, a lot of stuff being announced. So let's start with the first big news. Let's start with from DC Comics. DC Comics, Scott Snyder, who's been the spearheading a lot of things with like the Absolute Universe, DC's KO. He's writing that right now. But he's spearheading a lot of things with DC Comics, and he just announced DC Comics Next Level. All right, so from what I can see here, it's a whole bunch of comics where, well, basically what he said it was, he got a whole bunch of different creators, writers, artists to say, hey, what do you want to do? What's the story that you wanted to write about, a character that you want to do? And they did that, and they came up with a whole bunch of stories, and now they're going to come with a whole new line of stories in March. All right. And also, basically, he said this is he took a lot of inspiration from like the Absolute Universe, Ultimate Universe. He basically said this is going to be something for readers just to pick up these books and read. You feel me? And that's, if you've been watching the pod, I've been saying it a lot. They need to make it so people can easily pick up stories and just read them from there, and not have to read a whole bunch before or read a whole bunch afterwards. They just a storyline they can just pick them and read from there. And I believe that is kind of what they are going with this next level lineup. All right. And I think it's pretty dope. I think getting these creators and getting a good team of creators on a certain hero or certain character and then pushing that is really what I think they should do and continue to do. And that seems what they're gonna do. They got a lot of names. One of the big names on here that I'm looking forward to is Jeff Lemire. But some of the titles that they announced, and remember, this is all starting in March and beyond. So Batwoman, Deathstroke the Terminator, Firestorm, Shadow of the Batman, Zatanna, Lobo, which they also say Lobo will be ongoing, Demon, and Barbara Gordon Breakout. There was a couple more that I saw that were announced also. I thought I had them in my phone, but it seems like I do not. Okay, but those are the couple stories that were announced that will that'll be out in March, and new stories that people can pick up. And I can't wait for Lobo. That's gonna be ongoing. I think Lobo is past overdue for an ongoing. I don't understand why they haven't given him ongoing. I think he could be a very popular character that they push, but they just simply haven't. I'm glad Deathstroke is coming back. I've been seeing a lot of people hating Deathstroke online and stuff because of some of his backstory, but I think you also need to remember that the writers wrote him like that. Like the writers wrote him like that. Like some of those past things could even get recoined and taken away, like some of the abuse that he does. But also remember that he's a villain. You feel me? Remember he's a villain. But that's neither here nor there. I'm excited for the Deathstroke one. Um, but one thing we can definitely talk about with these new line of comics coming out, one thing I want to talk about is the lack of black representation. And can we even blame DC for it? All right. So in this new line, I've seen a lot of people like me that came out and said, hey, where are the black characters? There's literally no one in this line. And before anybody says Firestorm, I'm pretty sure that this Firestorm is the white version of Firestorm and not the black version, which even if it was, half of Firestorm is a black kid, the other half is an older white man. So it kind of doesn't even seem like the black character is still leading. He's kind of like co-leading or hosting or whatever. You feel me? So people are kind of mad, like we're not seeing a lot of black characters, not representation. Like where are all these characters that y'all got that y'all don't use that y'all could get some shine to? Like I seen another thing. Some of the stories that were coming out that were gonna come out later from DC, which I'm gonna try to find it while I talk. Some of those stories, like they had Poison Ivy in those stories, different things like that. And I'm like, why are these characters not getting some shine? Yeah, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Batgirl, Captain Atom, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, and two Flash series apparently are coming out next year. And then, but we still can't get a Vixen story. Jace Fox has not been around. You feel me? Except for Power Company. I'm pretty sure Mr. Terrific may get an ongoing after the year one. Hopefully, Black Lightning. He just had a series that ended that could have continued. There's so Duke Thomas. There's so many black characters that they could use that they seem just to be skipping over. And parts of me, I definitely think they could do a better job, but I kind of don't blame DC because. But even with this, what I'm ready to say, I can go against that later. But even with that, it's like they're looking at sales, they're looking at money makers and stuff like that. And I think sometimes we forget that the sales that they go about are like pre-orders. That's like shops and stuff pre-ordering the book. So if not a large amount of us are pre-ordering a book, it doesn't matter even if we go to the comic book store to buy it. It doesn't matter. And even some comic book stores may not buy black heroes just for the fact they don't think they could sell them, or they could just be racist. You feel me? So it's really it's really just it's a hard topic to talk about and really get a feel for, because it's like, are black characters really not selling, or just the metric y'all use to show the sales of comics not really showing that these characters can sell? Like, it's a big thing, but I don't really blame DC for going with their money makers, the Batman. You're gonna get a few Batman stories and stuff like that, but I definitely think they could show more representation. They put out books all the time that nobody buys, and that they put out um like even sales for Green Lantern. He's had a green ongoing for years, and I don't think the sales for that have ever been good. But why can't we get a Black Lightning ongoing? If Green Lantern sales aren't even good, why can't we just get a Black Lightning ongoing? If this one isn't even selling, so you feel me? Why not give this joint a chance? But that was one of my faults with this whole new line. I think it's actually pretty dope and bring new readers on to reading, but hey, give us some more representation in there. Throw us some Jace Fox in there. Where's the Power Company? All right, like maybe maybe the comics I'm asking for aren't a part of this new initiative, but hey, I still want more of those characters and more them to be seen more. All right. But that's kind of all I got for the new run of DC. Like I said, I can't wait for Lobo and Deathstroke to see what happens with those. But yeah, DC really killing it right now, which I'll talk about in my next topic. But DC is really killing it right now. So tell me what y'all think. Are y'all excited for these new line of comics? Do y'all want more representation? Do you not care about representation? Are you think other heroes should be getting some shine? Tell me what y'all think about this. Let's talk about it. Okay, to continue this talk about like DC Comics and their new announcements, Marvel also just put out an announcement that I believe next year, the Ultimate Universe will be coming to an end. I think like issue maybe 20 something, especially for the Black Panther. I think issue 20 something, maybe the last issue for Black Panther. But the Ultimate Universe is coming to an end, and also we're also on the other side with DC Comics. We're seeing that the Absolute Universe isn't going anywhere, right? They're even coming out with Absolute Catwoman, which is a limited series within that universe. But they said that Batman isn't looking to stop anytime soon. That they're looking to bring characters from the Ultimate Universe together and meet each other in the future. And I don't even know if we're even close to that. So this topic I really want to talk about because I've seen it a lot where we're seeing the Ultimate Comics end and Absolute Comics continue, right? I'm seeing from a lot of people that Marvel is getting their ass whipped by DC right now. And it's kind of something I haven't been seeing for a while. I think there was a good time where DC had the better comics easily. And I think DC kind of went away with some of their creative choices that kind of wasn't good and wasn't bringing in fans where Marvel was killing it. But I think now that DC is definitely killing Marvel, and I think that's the sentiment across the board, especially with these announcements in terms of comics. Like DC is putting out these new lines, this new run. Absolute is killing it. They got DCKO that's killing it, bringing Sub Zero, Homelander, and different people into the DC universe. Like DC right now is like a creative boom. It's like a renaissance, you feel me? And like DC is really giving fans something new to jump onto. New readers and old readers are giving you something to look forward to. Which Marvel has some storylines and stuff that I like. Like Imperials is really good. Like what they're doing with that. Their street level stuff is still good, but overall, it's just like I feel like DC is just creatively killing Marvel right now, and that's kind of the sentiment across the board with a lot of nerds, blurs on Twitter, threads and stuff like that. I'm just seeing people like Marvel fight back, fight back. You feel me? But like that's kind of topic that I want to talk about and see what people thought about. Like, how are y'all feeling about the DC versus Marvel power struggle right now? I think definitely, especially with last month's top comics, with I think both of them. There's just a topic that was on my TikTok about both having an equal number of comics in like I think the top 10 or top 15 or whatever, but having the same amount of comics, and also Batman being number one in the top four was all Batman, and especially Absolute Batman, which is always at the top of the charts every single month. Every month has been at the top of the charts. I think number Absolute Batman number one is going to its ninth printing. I think that's crazy to think about, but yeah, with the Ultimate Comics run coming to an end, which is really a big, which I thought was really dope for Marvel to have the Ultimate Comics run, that's coming to an end. And then you see Absolute Universe just continues to go, and now they got their whole All In universe that All In with the main universe that's thriving. You feel me? Batman just started over. Even Superman has some really dope storylines going on right now, and I want to see what they do. They have some cancellations, but I think they're gonna really start booming with the creativity, which means they're going to even more so kill Marvel. So let's talk in the comments. Let's talk in the chats. How do y'all feel about, the Ultimate Universe coming to an end? Absolute Universe thriving. DC kind of putting their foot down on Marvel's necks with all of this. How do y'all feel about this and how all of this is going? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it, y'all. Okay. So since we're talking about DC, actually, when the last couple pods were all talking about anything James Gunn, which actually made me very happy. But let's talk about some James Gunn. Okay, so Peacemaker has now come to an end, and there's a lot of reviews about the season finale. But people hate it. People saying it's a nothing burger. They didn't do nothing to wrap the season up, and I can't say nothing like that because I checked out after episode one. I did not watch Peacemaker after episode one. I was going to, but really didn't care for it. You feel me? I just, to be like I've said this before, I just think that the DCU has kind of become a joke under James Gunn. It's kind of just become like, not really serious or nothing to take serious. And I just didn't feel like watching Peacemaker and just seeing more so of DC just unserious and kind of just shit. I just really don't like Peacemaker or the fact that it's a centerpiece of the DC universe when Peacemaker isn't even nowhere near a popular character at all. And I think just to throw in just a weird character to say, hey, this is what our DC universe is going to center around. But yeah, I wasn't really with um, the whole season of Peacemaker anyway. Them bringing in Nazis and stuff like that. Just the last season had clans members in it. This one has Nazis, so it kind of just, even if they are the villains of the story, kind of just, yeah, I'm good with it. I'm not for me. I just don't need it. Don't need it. Yeah. 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 But dude, let's keep going. Peacemaker has ended now. And so next up will be Green Lanterns. And that'll be the next series, and I'm really looking forward to it because it'll be the first DCU series that does not have James Gunn's writing in it, doesn't have his style in it. He isn't directing it. It's somebody totally new is taking over Lanterns, and I can't wait for something different. Everything we've gotten has basically just been Guardians of the Galaxy X. Like, it's just been a different version of Guardians of the Galaxy, in my opinion. And so I just can't wait for somebody new to take over, a new writing style, new director, new hopefully somebody takes it more serious. So I can't wait for the Lantern show. My only thing with the Lantern show, I feel like you're not going to get much lanterns. I think you're going to get like the rings at the very end of the series. Like the last episode, you'll see them get rings. I feel like you won't see them fly. I feel like they'll be on Earth. Like this will be a detective show. Like it could have been about Batman or something like that. You feel me? I feel like it's going to be like that. That's my only worry. But we'll see when the show comes out. But James Gunn said this will also set up a lot for the future. Oh, and a little part that I skipped for the Peacemaker. James Gunn has said a lot, which I actually think he needs to stop talking because every time he talks, it kind of makes things worse. But he said that they're taking a Salvation run of comics where Salvation Run is this run of comics where they start sending metahumans and villains to another universe. Like they send them just on this universe and just sit them there, right? And that's kind of what James Gunn is going to continue with. That's going to be like the main run of DC. The main theme of DC is this salvation run. Now, I never read the comic. I might, to be honest, I don't think you need to read these comics before you watch these movies. I don't think the movie will be anything like the comics except for very small parts. To be honest with you, and James Gunn even said that he said that they'll be taking concepts from this, but it won't be like really a lot from it. You get me? So yeah, I also think this is another weird choice from James Gunn. I get that he's like choosing obscure stuff, and we do want to see some more obscure stuff. But to be the main focal point of your universe is these obscure things that people didn't really read or really didn't gain no popularity because people didn't really like them like that. So I think that's kind of weird to kind of base your universes off of. But we'll see where it goes. Um, it kind of seems like when he was talking about concepts, like they just threw this in somewhere, like they just threw it in there. The way he said it by saying, "Hey, y'all got it." Like he said, he talked to Peter Safran or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, you got to throw this in there," and they just kind of threw it in there. So yeah, that is what to look forward to with the DCU Lanterns Salvation Run being kind of the overall storyline of everything. Checkmate was also teased in the last episode of Peacemaker, but he also said that yeah, the theme will continue in Green Lantern and continue on with all the other movies and shows. So, but he also has said a lot. He also said that the last episodes of Peacemaker would be his biggest episodes ever, and suspect a lot of surprises. And there wasn't much, but hey, um, keep listening to James Gunn if you want to. I take everything he says with a grain of salt, but that's kind of where we are with the DCU. I'm looking forward to seeing this Green Lantern and seeing what they come up with it. Hopefully, it's a lot more Green Lantern than not in the series. Okay, so that's where we are with the DCU. Tell me how y'all feel about that. Obviously, you can tell by my enthusiasm how I feel about it. But yeah, that's where we are with the DCU right now. So let's talk about it. Okay, to stay on the DC stuff, we're really on DC today. So, DC also announced that they're making another animated movie, and surprise, surprise, it's about Batman. And last part I said if they do anything animated, it has to be absolute Batman, which I still think they would do. But the next animated movie will be DC's Nightfall. All right, and Nightfall is basically uh where Bane breaks Batman's back and leading on from that. So that will be the thing they're doing animated next. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about animated movies. So as you've seen, the Demon Slayer is building up numbers. It did the new Demon Slayer anime movie is doing numbers. It did more than Superman, more than Fantastic Four. It's one of the top selling movies of this year, and I want to talk about that. We already know animes and animated movies are already popular. So why aren't we releasing these in theaters? I think that DC and Marvel also need to take this up with releasing some of their comic books as animated movies, like Flashpoint. Because one thing they're not going to do with the movies is make a one of one adaptation. You feel me? It's not going to. The movies they make are never going to be like the comic books for real, for real. But they could do that with animation. And I think that DC and Marvel definitely take this route, and maybe even Marvel with some of their movies, maybe not, maybe well, both of them, maybe putting out a movie that's in the cinematic universe, but it's animated. Like that would be fire. Like I also think like if they were ever going to continue the Snyderverse, is to do it animated. Like I would love to get whatever Ben Affleck's movie that he wrote with Deathstroke as an animated movie. Like that would be great. Just League Part Two with them versus Darkseid, animated movie. Like that would be great. Them in like the Nightmare universe from the Snyderverse. Like that would be great animated. Like I think they should really dig into this animated movie, putting those out in theaters. You feel me? I think that would be a way to go, and I think that could be very popular. I think that could be a moneymaker. I think if you put out I think, let's say if you put out something like a popular storyline, like maybe All Star Superman. Like they said that was a book that they were going to use for inspiration for the new Superman, which I don't see. But let's say they put out All Star Superman as an animated movie. I think that could make billions. I think you can do things that make billions. I think the intergalactic Empire of Wakanda for Marvel, that could make billions if you did that animated. Like I just think they could do a whole bunch of stuff for animated, and this is the time to do it. All right. Um, but that's all I really got to say on that. I just think that animation route could be a big thing. So let me know what y'all think about that. But to move on to there's one more topic that I have that's outside of like comic books and stuff is the new Predator movie. The trailer for the new Predator movie came out and it looks dope. From what I saw from the synopsis, it says that like one of the predators has been banned or banished, and now he's trying to prove himself by hunting something on this other planet, right? And they said this one's going to be a lot less gory and it's not going to be rated R, but they want it to feel rated R. Normally, when they say that, they don't normally feel rated R, but we'll see what happens, and I'm mad hyped up for that. So check out that new Predator trailer, Predator Badlands, because that joint like is gonna be good. But hey, that's all I got for y'all for episode Big 20 of the Yo Nerd podcast. Thank you everybody who's already liked, comment, subscribe. Thank you for everybody that's watching. And please tell your friends about me. Subscribers are steadily going up, and I want to continue steadily going up. So please tell your friends about me and continue to watch the Yo Nerd podcast. Peace.